my scholars. Welcome to another interesting class. In today's class, we are going to be looking at the rulers of old Nigeria. The rulers of old Nigeria. The looking at here is Usman Dan Fodio. Usman Dan Fodio was a well-educated Fulani teacher of Islam and a reformer. He was born in 1754 in Gobri, a city in the Hausa Kingdom of the northern Nigeria. He used his influence as a great teacher to create a religious community in his hometown of Tega. There, he taught a lot of people and he converted them to Islam. As we know, Islam is the major religion that is being practiced by the northerners. One of the students was Yafwa. Being a teacher, he taught a lot of people, and one of his students was Yafwa, the son of the ruler of Gombe. Yafwa later turned against his teacher and tried to assassinate him. That is, he tried to kill him. Dan Fodio and his followers fled to Gudan so that he would not be what? Captured. Because when he noticed they were after him, they wanted to kill him, he had to do what? To run away for his life. This flight is known as the Ijara. There, Dan Fodio was helped by the Fulani people and many Hausa people over there who had also been oppressed by the Hausa king. They assisted Dan Fodio. The Hausa rulers had imposed a heavy tax on them. They imposed a tax that they know they will not be able to keep to, which made them to be very poor. The tax they told them to be paying drained all of their resources and they remained what? Poor. When Usman Dan Fodio was made the leader of the faithful, then Dan Fodio was now a political as well as a religious leader. He declared a jihad, that is an holy war. It is known as an holy war against the Hausa king because he was already angry. The way they were treating them was not right. So he declared a war and raised an army. He was the commander of this new army. After a few years, Usman Dan Fodio took control of the whole of the modern day northern Nigeria. He founded the Sokoto with his capital. He eventually retired and handed over the capitalate to his son, which was now known as Mohammed Bello. Mohammed Bello was also a great northerner because he was a descendant of Usman Dan Fodio. He was indeed a great-grandson of the great Fulani warrior Usman Dan Fodio. Amedu was the only surviving son of him. So one of the rulers also we are going to be looking at, we are going to be talking about the Afroja of Ilori. He was the head of the army of the Oyo Empire. Remember that Dan Fodio was for the Fulani. He was for the what? Oyo Empire. Under the Alafian of Oyo Alo. He ruled over the city of Ilori, while the Alafian ruled over the Oyo Empire from the capital in the old Oyo. That was in 1817. Afoyo sent an empty calabash. He sent an empty calabash to Alafian, which signified that he was no longer under his authority. That's the meaning of the empty calabash he sent to him. I don't want to remain with you any longer. That's the significance of that. And later, the Alolo committed suicide, but not before he was cursed. Afoja and the Yoruba land. The Afeni shot 3 arrows, one to the north, one to the south, and the last one to the west, saying, "My curse be on you for your disloyalty and disobedience." So let your children disobey you, because he was angry. So Alaafin then went into his house and drank poison to end his own life after the Alaafin's death. Afọ̀njá refused to be ruled by anyone. He disagreed. He did not allow anyone to come in to rule. He later invited Malam Alimi, a Fulani Muslim preacher, to come to Ilori. Because of that, a fight broke out between Afọ̀njá and Alimi. Afọ̀njá and his men were killed during the fighting. The Fulanis took over Ilori, and Malam Alimi became the first Fulani empire of Ilori. Now the next one we'll look at is Kosoku. Kosoku was the grandson of Ologun Kuteri, the king of Lagos. He was the grandson of Ologun Kuteri, the king of Lagos. He became the king after plotting a coup against Oba Akintoye with the help of Madam Tinubu, a wealthy Lagos businesswoman. Kosoku was a feared ruler. He participated in the slave trade, a practice which Oba Akintola had tried to abolish. During his reign, the British government tried to sign a deal with Kosoku to stop the slave trade in Lagos, but Kosoku refused. He did not agree to do that. As a result, the British government sent soldiers to attack Lagos. Their first attempt by the British government to defeat Kosoku failed because he was a strong Oba. So the second time, the British Navy sent 5 warships to attack Lagos. Lagos was set on fire. After 2 days, the fighting was on. They fought for a very long period of time. Kosoku and his men fled. They ran away when they saw the way the fight was going. They had to run. So because of that, he was removed from the throne, and Oba Akintoye, who returned from exile, was now reinstalled as the Oba of Lagos in 1851. So these 3 rulers are some of the rulers of the old Nigeria. So the little summary on this topic is, if we ask ourselves, why did Usman Danfodio declare a jihad against the Hausa king? Jihad, as we already know in the lesson, is known as what? A holy war. He declared that war because of the treatment that the Hausa king was giving to them. They were maltreating them by imposing heavy taxes on them, which made them want to remain poor. And the new seat of power that Danfodio founded was known as the Sokoto Caliphate, while Afọ̀njá of Ilori was the head of the army of the Oyo Empire. So we'll also be looking at the colonial rule in Africa. When we talk about the colonial rule in Africa, many of the ancient African kingdoms traded with Europeans. They sold human slaves in exchange for weapons. The Europeans took these slaves back to their countries. Because of that, Africa lost a lot of people to the slave trade. But after a while, the Europeans sent explorers into Africa to discover more about it. The Europeans discovered that Africa was a land that is very rich in gold, rich in diamond, rich in cocoa, rich in sugarcane, and many other natural resources. because Africa was actually what? A blessed land. The British, the French, the Portuguese, the Germans decided to share this and divided up the land among themselves in what was known as the partition of Africa. This period is known as the colonial period. The Europeans set up their own government with their own people to rule the African continent. The Portuguese were the first Europeans that landed on the shore of Lagos in the early 50s. In 1885, the British traders came with their soldiers and forcefully took land from the people who live around the Niger Delta. These people were given the authority from their government to govern the land. This authority was called a charter. These traders formed a company called the Royal Niger Company. In 1901, the British took control of the land belonging to the Royal Niger Company. It was at this time that Nigeria officially became a colony of the British government. At this time, the land was divided into two parts, the Northern Protectorate and the Southern Protectorate. This was now divided into two, the Northern Protectorate and the Southern Protectorate. Before the Europeans came to Africa, Africa has already organized themselves into clans, groups of villages, kingdoms, and empires. The coming of the Europeans disrupted the African political, cultural, and economic system. The negative impact, the British really did some negative impact in their rule in Nigeria, because their aim was just to take some of our raw materials like our gold, our palm produce, our cocoa. They were all extracted to benefit the British. Nigerian workers that was doing the tapping of the rubber, that was doing the hard labors, were not paid much. They were paid below, while the British were the ones earning more. So their coming to Nigeria did not really eat interest in Nigeria. So the next part we'll be looking at, we'll now talk about amalgamation. And we talk about amalgamation. Amalgamation, the English word of to amalgamate, means for two things, two countries to come together to become one, a great nation. That's the meaning. So we're looking at in 1914, that was when the amalgamation of Nigeria took place. The Southern Niger Protectorate was joined with the Northern Niger Protectorate to form what? A single colony of Nigeria. So in 1914, under the governorship of Lord Frederick Lugard, who took office as the governor of both protectorates in 1912, was responsible for overseeing the unification, and he became the first governor of the newly united territory. Then the amalgamation took place 1st of January 1914. Therefore, 1st of January 2014 was a wonderful moment for Nigeria, for having stayed together for 100 years. That is from 1914 to 2014. This is called what? A centenary celebration, and that offers an opportunity for people to focus attention on Nigeria, our history, people, achievements, and aspiration. So the summary of these lessons we have: after the Europeans discovered Africa was rich in mineral resources, some European countries decided to divide Africa among themselves. This was the beginning of the colonial rule in Africa. Nigeria was colonized by the British government in 1901, though it was divided into what? 3 zones. These were united. These 3 zones decided to come together, and they were united under the name called what? Nigeria, in the year 1914. I'll be stopping the lesson for today. See you in our next class. If you have any question, please put it down on the notes section. Bye.